We're good.
Welcome to tonight's Park Board meeting, Wednesday, April 6th, 2022. We'll all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Janice, we will need a roll call.
Roll call. Bill?
Yep.
John? Not here. Wayne?
Wayne's here.
Roger? Here. Sorry. And I'm here.
Just
We have two
for
absentees.
information, we do have a quorum
Yes, we
with
do.
3 people, so we're good.
Yep, we do.
I would like to have a motion to approve the agenda for our April 6th meeting.
I think we have an addition that Janice
Okay.
wants to talk about Flower Wake Park people, so
Okay,
we can add that at the end. Or we can include that, let's do that under landscape coordinator.
okay.
Put it where?
Under landscape
And
coordinator.
under landscape. Yeah, that's a good place.
Okay.
Okay, we will add that to the agenda. Could we have a motion to approve the agenda for tonight? Roger, is there a second? We have a motion and a second. All those in favor, aye. Aye. Approve? Okay, that passes. Now we need to look at the Park Board minutes from February 2nd. If you want to just glance through them. I read them at home on my computer. I'm getting pretty computer literate. So if there aren't any changes to the minutes, then I would ask for an approval of the February 2nd meeting board minutes. Roger makes a motion to approve them, and Janice seconds them. All right. The trail resolution. Bill?
Yeah, Deputy Chair and Park Board members, and for people watching at home, thank you for joining us tonight. So in front of you, you have a resolution in a draft form. And what this entails is MnDOT is requesting to put the Wobegon Trail from basically St. Cloud all the way up through Alexandria on what they call a national bike route. It's a special designation out there, and they're going to be applying for some grants and doing some different things also with it. But at the end of the day, they're looking for any neighboring government units that abut the trail or have built part of a trail for resolution of support so that this will help them as they move forward. It's going to be called basically a U.S., they call it a U.S. Bike Route 20 is the number on it. So it's very similar to national highway systems. With it in your agenda, it just basically it's a resolution with the language. There's a sheet kind of gives you a little bit of background on it. We're not going to walk through that tonight. And then there's a small map, but it just shows Wake Park section of the Wobegon Trail, which is from Wade Avenue from our city limits line to the Sauk River through River's Edge Park. Park Board is a recommending board, so the reason I brought it forward for you, I thought it was important for the Park Board to be part of this process. If you so choose to recommend it and move it forward to the council for your recommendation to approve, that's really what I'm looking for tonight from you. And it'll be on the council agenda Monday night for their official approval. So I'll take any questions if I can answer them.
Well, I don't have any questions, but it's the Wobegon Trail is going to be U.S. Bike Route 20 in this area.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. Any questions or deliberations on this? I guess we would need a motion to approve the trail resolution.
I do move.
Janice moves to approve it, and Roger seconds. Those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion passes.
Thank you.
All right, the next agenda item is the Parkland Fee.
And before you, we do this, not very often, but once in a while, you get these in an email to make a determination, and tonight it's in person, so. You see in front of you a preliminary and a final plat for a development that's called Quarry View Acres. It's located at the intersection of 28th Avenue South and 7th Street South. The developer out there is proposing to build I'm not sure exactly how many lots, development, 90 lots. Different types of mixed uses as far as their patio homes. Some are townhomes and some are single-family homes. So part of this process is that when they plat a property like this, that parkland fees come into play. And the park board, again, is a recommending body. The council makes the final decision, but they do take the park board's recommendation and staff's recommendation also. So I will give that to you. At this point, we are looking that staff, myself and John Nornberg, the planner, as you'll see, that was on your second page and highlight there, basically talking about this. The parkland dedication fee for the total parcel is $71,000 and $71,060. They may be talking to us, if this all goes forward, of doing some sort of phased payment on it, but that's to be determined by council and staff at a later date. The other thing is that we could choose to put a small neighboring park out there if we wanted to, which we have not done in the past. Even this one looks large, but it's still not big enough that I believe that that's the best interest of the city. Parks are important, I get that, I do understand that, and neighborhood parks in this area might be somewhat advantageous, but we feel at staff level that this parcel, this lot should pay the parkland fees. So what I'm really looking for from the park board tonight is a recommendation, yea or nay, on the parkland fee or neighborhood park, so. Go
I
ahead.
have a question.
Yeah.
I'm wondering about the feasibility of having that number of family housing and no small park available. Is there any area here that they've set out that would be green land for children to play in?
No, there isn't. It's a lot of wetlands, so they've shoehorned everything in with the wetlands out there. Way it's been described to me is they're gonna probably try to fill this with more seniors. That's detailed more to the senior population, which.
I live in Willow Creek, and we have 98 units. And so I'm looking at this, and this wouldn't be much bigger, if at all,
No.
than what we have in Willow Creek. And that's kind of a small area to put a park in.
Yeah, I would suspect they would just take one of the lots out of their development, and then you would have basically, and we put a swing set and a slide out there or something like that, and have to maintain it, and.
Well, yeah, if you're gonna put it there, you gotta be responsible for it, so.
Correct, and that would be the city's responsibility, so.
I guess my opinion is that the fee in lieu of would be a better way to go, my opinion.
I think the fee would be, well, I'd go along with the fee too.
So you don't need a motion on this, just?
we do.
You do,
Need a
okay.
motion of-
After looking this over, any other questions or concerns that you have?
Yeah, I do have another question.
Yeah.
I don't see a trail on here either.
There is on the north south side of 7th Street South.
And this corner, is that part of the
No,
lot?
that's
No,
a different property
a
owner.
different part. Well, you know how much I like parks.
Yep.
And so I feel kind of bad that
And-
there's no green space in case we have a family, since they have single-family houses there. But I do see that a lot of patio homes and things that they're looking at, more elderly people.
But the other single-family homes also could have older people in it. I'm guessing that they're not all gonna be young people in those single-family homes. There's not a lot of difference sometimes between a patio home and a single family. So I would entertain a motion, yea or nay.
I would propose to $71,000.
So you're moving to approve? Yes. Okay.
I'll
Would
second.
we- Would we?
Parkland dead fees. Okay.
Parkland Fee.
Yep, and you'd second that, Janice?
I will.
Those in favor, aye. Aye, opposed, motion passes.
Thank you, Parkland. So that recommendation will move forward to the council on Monday night.
Okay, good. Grants,
I have nothing. That's usually John's realm. I haven't talked to him about anything out there, so if we can pass on that.
next item is the amphitheater.
And not a lot to report. Like I said, in February, they're announcing shows, and between February and now, I think we've announced 6, 7 more shows. I believe we're up to 9 or 10 at this point, with some possibility of some more coming yet. So, looking forward for a successful season. We do have a couple, 3, maybe 3 community events. We're still working through that, so I can't really share yet exactly what that is, but news will be coming out on that. We open on Saturday of Memorial Weekend, and then on Sunday we have another concert. So we have a back-to-back right out of the gate. Out of the gate, excuse me. We're busy at staff level trying to plan everything's to get everything opened up. We have the parking lot to finish off this year yet, and so we're quite busy right now trying to figure out how to get all this work done with not many bodies. So,
Are they still pursuing another grant from the state?
yes, the bond is still at the legislature. We won't know that probably until legislature ends their session. It usually is the
They
last thing
seem
they
to do all their work in the last 47 hours.
And the bond's usually the last vote. It's typically how it goes.
I was just curious if it's still being pursued.
Yeah, yep, it is. So, good news. Keep your fingers crossed that goes through. So,
All right, item number 9, landscape coordinator and flowers.
so I'm here to report again. I've met with Jeannie Lodemeyer I don't remember which day it was. Anyway, she's been working on with Janice and Randy, and I can't remember the other gal's name. Okay,
Claire Garcia.
Claire Garcia, and doing the work on the backside, even though there's no official position yet. I have literally been swamped, and to do this right, I need to be able to focus on it for a fairly decent amount of time, and I can't take 5 minutes and try to. So I'm still working through that, getting that position crafted out. It's going to look a lot different than what the previous coordinator's position was. So I want to give it the due diligence that it needs. I don't want to just throw something out there. So I'm hoping sometime in May to have that ironed out with the council, and then looking forward. So Jeannie has been very gracious and kind to offer her time to help get the flowers ordered. I think you guys are meeting this Saturday.
Yeah, we're meeting Saturday at 9.
So there's still work being done by good people out there, and I can't thank them enough. It's just certain circumstances, which I cannot share, is just derailed me a little bit, so.
But you would plan to have a coordinator in place for the summer?
Yes, yeah. June at the latest, I would say, so.
Okay,
But we're still working it through without, quote, having that official title to the person yet. Like I said, we got good people. Janice, Clara, and Randy are all volunteers and doing the same thing with Jeannie too. I know she's not officially part, maybe she is officially part of the group, I don't know. But she's been also helping, spearhead, so. Flowers, I believe, have all been ordered and everything is moving forward, so.
sounds good.
Yeah, we'll get there. It's gonna take a year. It may be a one-year deal with one person and then see how it works out. It's gonna be a trial year to try to rewrite the ship, if I can call it that.
At the end of the year, you can sit down and take a look at what did happen, what didn't, and
Yeah.
and what was good, what wasn't, so that would,
I do, and I'm not gonna speak way too much to this, because I want Janice to share some information with you. It's very valuable, and I will just say this, I'm very appreciative of what people do. So I'll just turn it over to Janice to let her share some of her thoughts on.
Well, the four of us met a while back and looked at what was needed in all of the, we sat down and Jeannie carefully wrote down what was needed in each of the gardens as we went by, with special emphasis on the library garden. Claire has been spearheading the library garden for the last half a year, so she knew what was going on there. So we'll be meeting on Saturday to put together an agenda for our first meeting, which will be on Thursday coming up, 14th.
14th.
At 5 o'clock at the pavilion down there. You're welcome if you'd like to come. You're welcome to volunteer also. We're always looking for volunteers. Anyhow, sometime back I went through and I added up hours. Last summer we asked people to keep track of their hours. Now, we have like 7 people who are also RSVP, and Claire kept track of those folks, and then we have, the rest of the group was asked to report their hours to me. We know that all the hours were not re-reported, but 20 members, including the RSVP ones, reported a total of 745.5 hours. That's 18.5 40-hour weeks. And then, just for fun, I decided I would move that to the minimum wage that we give workers here, $15 an hour, and that's $11,182.50. So that's a lot of volunteering.
that's an amazing number for those people.
And it doesn't include transportation costs and donations of plants that are made by volunteers and so on. And we have a lot of fun. As we go ahead, we're going to, at the next meeting, ask people to let us know which gardens they're going to work in. Usually our volunteers choose one garden and that's where they work, which is nice because they know the flowers.
They get to watch their own flowers grow.
And they do. They get to watch it. And we have a number of people who have a little bit less facility physically that do the flower boxes for us. Those along 13th, we have flower boxes at City Hall, We have flower boxes out at the maintenance building, and they're all over if you keep watching. So because a lot of people that I've talked to don't really know about our gardens, and I wanted to have something that would advertise volunteerism a little more. Claire and I put together a brochure. Now, this one hasn't come out yet, so Margie did the work on putting it together. I formatted it for her. She put it on the computer, and then she ran it off on a poorer paper than it will be. It's at the printers, and it'll come out in time to go in the water bill.
Oh, good.
But this guide not only points out what we have for gardens, but also talks about volunteering and where we can do that. So those will be available to give to people after the water bill comes out. We're going to put them out here, put them at the library, pass
Senior
them out.
center.
Senior center. They're going to RSVP, so she can hand them out and see if we can get this out so we can have more volunteers, because that's a big need. We will be taking care of the flower boxes out at the amphitheater this summer, and that's going to be what, another 25? Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of them.
A lot of work.
A lot of work.
I think
But it makes the city look beautiful,
Does.
and we get so many compliments on it.
I have also heard many compliments about the beautiful flowers in Waite Park. And I thank you, Janet, for the brochure and all the things that you do with it, because as you well know, people have to step up to get it done or it doesn't get done. So thank you again, and you're doing a really good thing for yourself, for us, and the city of Waite Park. Thank you.
absolutely. And when I met with Jeannie on Monday, it was Monday, and we counted up all the planter boxes that we have, and we are ordering more big vases like we have out here for the ledge to put in the walkways that come into it. Last year, we had a big issue of people thinking that the entrance off a Parkway, which is fairly wide, it looks like a small car driveway, and it was done that way so that ambulance or police cars could get up there. But, and it's signed that it's not for drive-through, but people used it as a driveway and drove right up through there all the way. So we were gonna get some big rocks out and kind of throw it up, scatter them out there so that it deters people from driving in, or if they get up a little bit further, they have to back out because there's no way for them to get through. Adam, our operations guy out there, suggested that, and I loved his idea. He says, "You always say, Bill, it should look like Disneyland out there." And he says, "What do you have at Disneyland? Flowers and flowers and flowers. Let's get these big vases like we have out here, fill them full of flowers and scatter them through that area." So it's going to be a different look when you walk in this year. It won't be that sterile concrete. You'll see big flower pots. And then we added some more for the library also. So for you, Janice, we're going to do two sides of the library instead of just the one. So I think we're over 75 flower planter boxes in the city. That's a lot of boxes, and that's a lot of flowers. I did make it an executive decision because of where we're at this year, and just need to do the planter boxes, what we have, and keep what we have existing. So this is news to Janice. The design bed that was done last year, we're gonna hold off until next year to do that, just for the sheer fact of the dollars I think it's gonna cost us to plant that thing. And I just need more time to evaluate that. And then the other one, we're not gonna do the hanging planters on Third Street Trail this year. Dale's doing interviews to get seasonal help, and I think we maybe have one. It's really tough, and to do those, we're gonna have to come up with some way to do watering, because I don't have anybody. I don't know how we're gonna do this, and the hanging baskets are,
The hanging baskets, yeah,
They-
we don't want those on the trail anymore. They don't do well on the trail for more than the watering reasons.
well, we have the new watering, self-watering ones, but it's just, so those are two things that I just pulled back on this year. Let's do what we can and do it well, and then we'll see where we are at next year, so. But again, I will add to Wayne's comments and to you and the group, my ever indebtedness for what you guys give to the community, so, thank you.
Next item on the agenda, strategic plan update.
Yeah, I know that I've reached out to a few of you about this. This strategic plan is moving forward. We have our, what we call future search meeting coming up less than 2 weeks out at Public Works. It's a 16-hour event held over 3 days. Starts Tuesday night at 4 o'clock until 8, and then everybody comes back at 8 a.m. the following Wednesday till 4 in the afternoon. And then they come back on Thursday night from 4 to 8 to finish up. What we're doing is we're planning the futures of Waite Park. The theme is, what does Waite Park look like in 2043? And if you ask, why did we pick 43? It will be the city's sesquicentennial. The city will turn 150 years old in 2043. So we felt that was a good tie-in. It's about 21 years out, so it gives us some time to see what the vision is of Waite Park. The attendees of this group are multi-generational, multi-denominational, multi-versed as far as property owners. There's builders group, there's business people, there's different. We're trying to get a little bit of scattering of everybody, so we got a great cross-section, and we will all work together as a team over 3 days to try to map out what City Waite Park's wants and needs are and what it should look like in the end. So it's a lot of work to put this 3-day event on. That's the other thing that's holding me back, because me and Shauna get to do all the planning, and it'll be walking, it's held at the Public Works, but we're doing it out in the vehicle bay, so we're having to do, we first thought of doing it inside, putting a tent up inside too, because we didn't want people just to feel like they're sitting in a garage. So we're doing a pipe and drape thing, and it's gonna be, so it'll be comfortable for the attendees to feel like they're valued, and so yeah, it's gonna be an awesome event, and as soon as we get the results, we'll definitely come back to the whole park board and give them, so.
That'll be interesting to read. That should be interesting.
So Roger has gracefully accepted to sit on it from the park board. And we have a planning commission member. We have then 4 of the council members. So there's a government leaders table. That's where Roger will sit with those folks. There's a city staff table, so getting perspective from city staff. Like I said, homeowners, renters, large business, small business group, realtors, developers, and builders group, nonprofit group, and an education component. The education component is really cool because they're bringing some students. So like I said, we're trying to do multi-generational. You know, I could say what I'd like to see in 21 years, but you're probably not going to be around here, you know? And so we need to have that younger group to also help have some visioning for us. So very excited for it. It's going
Thank
to be
you.
a lot of work. I'll be really glad when it's over. but
Thank you, Bill, for getting that taken care of and the work you are doing on it.
It's not just me. There's a lot of hours going into this, so.
Next item on the agenda, park updates.
So obviously, the weather's changing, but you wouldn't know it today. It is coming. So staff will be getting ready, cranking up. So by June, obviously, Memorial Day, we should have all the parks open, the bathrooms. I've been getting calls to get the pickleball court opened up already. Sure, the first 70-degree day, I'll hear about the splash pad, why it's not open, but it just takes time. The only thing that we're really working on right now is in the budget, and I think I said this last time or a couple times, I had money in the budget that was pulled out of the general fund, and if we want to move forward, that the council can make the decision to use Parkland funds to do some of these other projects. The quad facility the original quad facility at River's Edge, the dugouts, all that needs some major work. It's over 21 years old. Roofing, soffit fascia, there's some windows that need to be done. A lot of the doors are shot. So there's a lot of work down there. We also had earmarked some money or had something put away to do some re-roofing of the buildings in Community Park here. So Dale has been working with a general contractor to kind of get an idea of what the scope of this would look like. Once we get that nailed down, we'll probably go out for quotes and I'll bring it back to the council. I'll also bring it back to you and let you know this is what, and then we'll just see if the council's willing to go ahead and spend some of the Parkland money to fix up these buildings that desperately need some work on it. Other than that, that's about all we're gonna do this year, and try to keep grass cut if we can find bodies, and keep the flowers group with some water, and if we can do that, I'm gonna be really happy for the year, so.
You're gonna have to figure out how you can be in two places at once.
I've been trying to figure that out for 21 years.
Well, thank you for that information,
Yeah.
Bill. The last item on the agenda is other business.
I don't believe I can think of anything at this moment. Not at this time. I think in a couple months, by June's meeting, we should have some hopefully good news on bonding and
Thank you. All right, our next meeting is June 1st, 2022 at 6:30 right here. Any comments or questions? If not, I would like a motion to adjourn the meeting. Roger made the motion to adjourn the meeting, and Janice seconded it. All those in favor, aye. Opposed, same sign. We are adjourned.